Hi guys, Alex here from Practice Results. Just doing a quick audit of this particular website, Braeside Dental Surgery over in Launceston. Um, Obviously, there's lots to comment on, but we've got a bit of a framework that we follow. So first of all, let's have a look at the website. I mean, some of the messaging seems to be a little bit dated. There's still a message about COVID-19, and look, while it's important, I think we well and truly have got those limitations lifted, where we don't really need to state that very much. In terms of the actual website, there's obviously a building that's being featured within the slider, which possibly is the premises of the building. However, there's no signage, so it's a little bit unclear as to what's happening. Now, the most important part here is above the fold, we don't have a clear call to action except for the phone number and an email. Now, listing an email like this really creates quite a lot of spam. And the bigger problem is that if you run any email marketing, or any marketing for that matter, you basically won't be able to track inquiries coming through this particular way of showing contact information. Now, nationally accredited, 30 years experience, they're great selling points and really should be highlighted. And then from there, obviously, there's a whole bunch of services coming in, information about the actual surgery itself, infection control and whatnot, the team, excellent. And then there's a little bit more information leading to, Google My Business and so on. Now, I find with a lot of businesses like this one, it's very important to, first of all, understand the user space. Now, sliders maybe used quite a fair bit. I think they a little bit outdated. I would much rather list all the main selling points and have a strong offer with a call to action for the actual target market. This business does general dentistry, cosmetic, quite standard when it comes to having a group of general dentists and maybe a couple that specialize in a few things. But, where this becomes a bottleneck is where people visit and they potentially can't find where to take action except for the phone number. Don't get me wrong. 80% of inquiries do come through phone calls for new patients, if that's what the business is after. However, when it comes to repeat customers, people do prefer to have online booking basically to go through and see what sort of availability is available if the system allows for something like that. So let's have a look more specifically into the actual metrics of the website. This is page speed by Google, so you can type in any website URL to analyze how good or bad the website is. It seems to be fairly fast. However, the overall performance isn't that good. The main reason being is the content paint doesn't really come up with the meaningful information, and it doesn't load fast enough given the fact that the actual website is actually not too bad. So there's actually a few improvements that can be done, and this actually goes into great detail as to how you could improve that based on the web design side of things. But the biggest thing here is on the mobile, you want to make sure that the website presents all the key information with a call to action. I recommend general practices to go for a new patient offer, whether it's a checkup and clean or something else, and also highlight things like health funds, because a lot of the time it comes down to price or whether practices accept certain funds or not. Now, why this is important is because the last thing you want is patients or potential customers calling you and asking you questions like, do you accept this health fund? Do you work with those things as well? It's just basically creates a bit of an obstacle to conversion, in my opinion. A lot of the time people will prefer a certain dentist based around the health fund or the financial situation around that as well. Now, if we look at the whole content side of things, now, it doesn't look like there is a content plan in place, because really what you want to do is make sure you support the keywords that the business wants to rank for. So, for example, this is a dentist in Launceston. And if you search for this particular business, Dentist Launceston, you will not find this in the top 3 businesses listed on Google My Business. This is a pretty big deal, especially on the mobile. However, if you look for the actual business itself, you will find it in Google My Business with 52 reviews, which is great. So there's obviously quite a few opportunities around the Google My Business improvements that can take this into the organic rankings and really skyrocket it. I mean, based on the number of reviews, we can see that it's a little bit difficult to compete with these guys. They've got hundreds, but that's mainly because of a strategy these guys are implementing to get these reviews. Now, There are APRA regulations in relation to reviews and testimonials, but there are ways around it. And you can see many businesses have got testimonials and reviews on their website. They get away with it by understanding all the guidelines. So make sure you brush up on that as well. In terms of the SEO side of things, the backlinks, according to the Ahrefs backlink checker, are great. There's obviously a lot of strong backlinks. In fact, if you look at this business, organically, they actually rank number 2. That's good, but they could actually be ranking a lot better if they had a proper content strategy and the actual content to support those main keywords as well. Now, if we look at the whole website from the perspective of conversion rate optimization, you'll find that there's a few elements that are missing. I've outlined that, obviously the offer, a clear call to action, online booking, that sort of stuff. But one thing I did find that makes quite a big difference is the live chat feature on the website. There's quite a few options available, but there are quite a few people who will gladly engage with something like that to get an answer. Now, whether you want to use a chatbot or whether you want to use a CRM that basically is linked to a knowledge base, there's quite a few options. And if this is something you'd like to discuss, feel free to reach out. There's actually quite a few tools available on the market right now. I also like to look at the whole 80-20. Okay, the 80-20 principle is the Pareto principle in terms of, optimizing for efficiency. And I think you'll find that you really want the above the fold of your website, what the section that comes up without people scrolling, to really present all the key information to the people without having to search for it. So that can really be improved, because I think you can really highlight the points of difference, 30 years in business and so on. Health funds, you could highlight things like location, because no doubt a lot of the time people will look for a location. You can really make the actual design a little bit more concise. And I guess relevancy of imagery as well. You could really make things a little bit more specific. Now, learn more button takes you to about page. I mean, I think they've probably done it just for the sake of it, but it's not quite logical for people to know more about the business. I think what they really want to do is understand, I guess, availability and, if they are able to help a patient with a particular problem. It's good to have a big team here. However, not all the team members are highlighted on the page as well. There's only 5 people here. And it'd be good to know what the roles of these people are without having to read the entire blurb there as well. Now, in terms of the elements, I think another thing that works quite well that I've seen is the reviews floating button, which actually connects to Google My Business. So you can have that floating on the side of the website. That really creates a lot of trust. Overall, you're really aiming for higher conversion rate without people having to scroll everywhere. And then for that reason, you obviously want to make sure that the conversion tracking in place. Now, lastly, and most importantly, the strategy. Now, what is the strategy behind this business? It's got a mix of different service avenues, starting with general dentistry, which makes me sort of think that they probably want to get patients through the door first for general services before they do inquire about things like cosmetic and other services as well. That's typically the flow. However, if you are looking for new patients, you need to have a new patient offer of some kind. If you are chasing cosmetic dentistry, you should be pushing for cosmetic dentistry offers, whether it's a smile makeover, whitening, or something else. What are the goals? What are the goals of this business? Are they wanting to get X number of people per week, per month, in order to basically become the ideal clients? Do they want to get new doctors or new dentists rather into the practice and basically be able to grow I don't know. There's obviously very limited information, but in terms of strategy, that's the sort of stuff you'd be looking into. And I guess in terms of current campaigns, you really want to make sure that if you're running Google ads and stuff, it's not just about keywords. It's also aligned with, the overall customer journey. Now, the customer journey is a little bit more complicated. This is where people may potentially start looking at your business on Facebook by having somebody interact with it, or maybe an ad popping up. Now, you've got obviously a page that's quite up to date in terms of the recent announcements and stuff. And even some engagement, which is great, which means that you could potentially re-engage some of the past customers and bring them back for other services. Now, I think that is one strategy that a lot of businesses don't really execute very well. And overall, there's 25 reviews on this page. They're nowhere to be seen except for Facebook. And I think there's a way to optimize this as well. They obviously recently launched this website. I've seen the post there somewhere. But I think overall, there's obviously a lot of work that can be done in order to get them new patients or potentially re-engage their past patients. Hopefully, you can see, the quick action points from here. So, if you're looking to get your business to do better, whether you're a dentist or whether you run some sort of allied health, we work with multiple different businesses. Reach out about this free gap analysis that we offer in order to help business owners identify gaps within their marketing or find out opportunities. Hopefully, videos like this can make things very easy for you to understand where to improve. And if you're working with a digital marketing agency or have an in-house staff member, easy enough to pass this on to them in order for them to start implementing changes. If you provide us with a bit of a basic guideline of what sort of strategy you're executing, we should be able to come back to you with more points on how to improve that or potentially keep that on track, because the markets do change. But if you just want a review of your website and I guess your online presence, feel free just to shoot us your URL and we'll take it from there. Anyway, my name is Alexi. I'm from Practice Results. We help practices grow using digital marketing. Thank you.